Oh, this is a bigger one. Oh, heck yes.
This house was built in roughly 1860s or 70s.
Made it to camp late as usual. But we're just glad to be here. As y'all can see, I cheated a little bit tonight. It's hot. Texas weather is so unpredictable this time of year. And it's a balmy, like mid 70s right now. So I don't need fire for heat. I will have a real fire tomorrow, but the quick Duraflame log was the way to go for tonight. I am finished getting camp set up. I'm hungry, and Heather got me a new Christmas gift that I'm anxious to try out. So what do you guys say we get some food going? What do you think, baby? It's time for you to eat too? Yeah, it's time for her dinner too. That was insanely fast. Well, guys, dinner is served. As far as dehydrated meals go, it's not too bad. It would do for tonight. But like I said, I do have something really cool planned for tomorrow night. So you just have to wait and see. Bailey's eating. I'm chowing down. It's a good night. Tomorrow we're going to have to have a real fire because I need to do some cooking over the fire. I thought it might be fun to see if we can scout out where some potential deadfall might be so we can get some firewood for tomorrow. Like a little trail that goes back here. Let's see what we can find. Oh, there's something right there. Yeah, there's a lot of deadfall in there that'll work. Remember to come here tomorrow. It's not that far from camp. And what you doing, baby? Let's see. Oh, there's potentially something else down here. Yeah, a little bit, not much, but some of these old trees. Fence line for the... There's some more over there. So we've got a pretty good bit that we can get out of here, which is nice. Oh, you can see our camp lights twinkling back there. We've got a good little cozy spot, I think. I was really wanting to get a spot by the pond, but I couldn't really get a spot by the pond because it was really overgrown, and I just couldn't get a good spot down there. So we elected to come here. I did still bring my fishing poles, so we're going to do some fishing tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, guys, pull you up a chair, get you a cold one. Let's have a chat about off-grid camping. Off-grid camping is fun. I love to do it. I've said many times on this channel that Texas, it's very difficult to find public land where you can camp and really truly get off grid. Once you get outside of Davy Crockett National Forest, Sabine National Forest, Angelina National Forest, Sam Houston National Forest, there's really not a lot of public land. You have to get far out in West Texas where Big Bend National Park is and Big Bend Ranch State Park is. And again, those are still not public land necessarily. Texas has one little parcel of BLM land in the Panhandle. Hip Camp is kind of like the Airbnb of camping. It was founded by a young lady named Alyssa in 2013. She was trying to find some camping spots and realized at that point how difficult it was. Hip Camp took off. I've used it a number of times, and I think it's great. A lot of private landowners, they may not be doing a lot with the land that they have, so it allows them to monetize a portion of that land and get some income, and it gives us a place to go and really enjoy the land. I've been out here a number of times, and I love this place. Like I said, mainly because it's so close. And if I just want a quick getaway, 1 or 2 nights, this is my go-to. And it's so relaxing. It's so peaceful. It gives you everything that you want. And the great thing is, even if you have people that are camping out the same weekend, the same nights as you, you're not right on top of each other. That's the biggest downfall to a state park, is sometimes if you're like me, you don't want to be right next to somebody where you can hear the activities going on. They play music too loud. There's just kind of disturbing and it's not peaceful. But out here, listen, all you hear is the crackling of the fire and the bugs, the occasional wind gusts. And so that's why Hip Camp is so great. Now, I am not sponsored by Hip Camp, first of all. This is not a paid thing. It's just what's worked well for me. And if you guys have had some things that have worked well for you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Also, man, thank you guys for coming along with me on this excursion this weekend. I really appreciate your support. Please, if you made it this far, go ahead and hit the like button if you like what I'm doing. Comment and hit the subscribe button, man. It does so much for me. And if you're on a mobile device, if you click that hype button and give me a little hype, it helps put the algorithm in the right place and get in front of the right people. So I really appreciate it. And also, maybe even consider becoming a member. There's a few member perks out there. I think you can do like a campfire crew or campfire captain. I forgot how I had them laid out, but it really helps me get out and do these adventures. All right, guys, I'm going to sit out here and enjoy this fire before I headed into the tent for the night. So unless something cool happens between now and in the morning, I'll see you guys for some coffee. Morning. I slept pretty good last night. I am kind of on the back end, the better end of getting over a cold, but surprisingly slept well even in the warmer temperatures. It got down about 68 last night, so I was able to sleep okay. Just a blanket, basically a light one. Today, after I kind of clean up from breakfast and all that, we need to process some firewood because we're going to have that tonight for dinner and do some fishing. We'll see what the day holds for us. This should be a great day. Let's get this day going. We made it down to the pond area and we're going to see if we can't do a little bit of fishing, see if we can get lucky. Last time I fished in this little pond, there was a bunch of little ones, but they were a lot of fun to catch. So let's try our luck today. I've got some mealworms and let's see if we can't catch some fish, no matter how little they are. Well, first fish of the day. It's a little bitty dinky one. Well, that's better than no fish, right? He about swallowed that hook too. Let's see if we can't get this little booger fixed up and back in the water. Oops, I got another bite, but oh, look at this little dinky guy here. Didn't even feel like there was anything on my. These ain't even big enough to make the grease stink in the pot. Huh? Yeah. There we go. Look at that little guy. I mean, he's like a minnow. Flop your way back on in there, booger. I'll help you. There you go. There he goes. Man, he took it as soon as it hit the water. They took it straight under. It's probably more of them little dinky ones, but it's still fun to keep. it's fun when you're out here to catch something. You know, last time I went fishing, I didn't catch anything. And sometimes it's just like that, but it's so much more fun when you're just catching something, even if they're these little bitty dinky ones that don't even make the grease stink. We still have a little bit of this mealworm left, so we're going to utilize that, see if we can't catch this other little booger. He's right out there at the end of that brush pile. And they're going after it, but hey, we're getting a little bit bigger now. Look at that. I think I know where to go. All right, we're going the right direction. We're getting bigger. See ya. Doubt there's going to be any real monsters in this pond, but I'm having a good time. Hope you guys are too. If you like this type of content, please make sure that you hit me a thumbs up. Give me oh, this is a bigger one. Oh, heck yes. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. That's a good size one too. For this pond, I mean, look at that. Look at that puppy. I want to bring it up to you so you guys can see a closer look here. But yes, we're starting to get some better ones. Look at that. Look at that little guy. Yeah. All right. See ya. Whoops. Can you flop in there? There you go. Ah, you're going the wrong way. I'll give you a hand. There you go. Oh, that was a fun one to catch. I mean, even that's still not that big, but oh, they're just so much fun. I just love it. All right. We know there's some little bit bigger ones out there. Let's go for them. A little bit bigger. They're not as big as that last one I caught, but we're getting there. These are fun, man. Even the little ones will fight sometimes, and they're just so much fun to catch. Losing mealworms like nobody's business, but that's okay. I'll show you this little guy here. You just lay my pole down. I'll bring it up so you guys can see it. There. Whoop. Hey, come here. Come here, fish. Bonked his head out, but yeah, there you go. He's not the biggest anyway, but he's fat or she, and I'm loving it. See ya. There they go. All right. The channel really took off in this last year, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that liked, commented, and subscribed. And I love the engagement. I read all the comments. I try to respond to most of them. Sometimes on those videos where I get like 1,100 comments, it's kind of hard to respond to every single one of them, but I really do try. And I appreciate you guys more than you know. Let's see if we can get some more of these bigger ones on here. I'm enjoying the day. Overcast, weather's nice. All right, let's see what they got out here. What do you think? Think we'll find us some monsters? Somebody's playing with it out there. Yeah. Another little one. They love those mealworms, don't they? If you followed the channel for any length of time, this place probably looks familiar. We're back at Jody's Hideaway, and instead of fishing for a bit, we're heading up to the homestead. We're going to sit down with Mr. Nathan, the owner's dad, and hear some of the history and stories behind this land. All right, everybody, while staying out at Jody's Hideaway, I was fortunate enough to meet Mr. Nathan. And he has a lot of information about this land and the property. So, Mr. Nathan, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been up here since 1977. My grandfather died. We wanted to keep the place going. So me and my wife, ex-wife, decided to move up here. And we've been here since, remodeling this house. This is considered Porter's Prairie in Burleson County. And this is the Robert U. Porter house. that was built in the 1860s or 70s. We think, we don't have any true date on it, where he had, I think, 16 kids with 2 wives, except, that died. But, and then since then, it's been owned by the Dunaways from 1910 to around 1940s. And then my grandfather and grandmother bought it in the 40s, and it's been in the family since then. So there's 200 acres here, roughly, and the house, and it's mine, if you will. But then recently, I have given the land to my 2 children. And so if something happens to me, they don't have to fool with taxes and all the legal things.
Right.
It's theirs. They get the taxes. I pay them. So, but I run
That's
cattle.
a good deal.
They've got a good deal. These 600 acres we have here as a family.
I'm sure that this is enough to keep you busy all the time.
I just have to choose which one I need to do, and I have to work on the ones that have to be done.
And an interesting thing you were telling me about is just how surprisingly large the community was back in the day. There was a lot of families out here that made up this community. In fact, there was a schoolhouse not far from here, right?
Within less than a quarter of a mile. Yeah.
And so just really interesting, the history. In fact, there is a historical marker that is for this house, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And when was that established, the historical marker?
I think it's on that marker, but I think we got it in 2000.
So what's cool, or what's really interesting and cool, is that you're basically living a piece of history every day when you walk in that house.
Yes.
Do you ever take it for granted?
Well, no, I don't take it for granted. But the interesting thing is, when we first moved up here, this house is a double walled house, outside wall, inside wall, like most everybody's used to. My grandparents that grew up, one set of my great grandparents lived within a quarter of a mile of here, and they were in a board and bat house, which is straight up and down boards with a small strip over the cracks.
Yeah.
That's what everybody out here had. This house, when it was built with 2 walls, was a true mansion. But those true 2 walls had nothing but air between them.
So still cold.
It was still cold. When we first moved up here, if a norther was blowing in, a true blue norther, and it hit this house, you could run to the other end of the house and it would beat you through the next wall. It was cold. And so over time, I've cut cedar trees out of the woods and had them milled, taken off the outsides of the ends of the house, not this wall, and put in insulation, wiring, things like that. Rebuilt these windows. These are original windows, 9/6, that you will see in older houses. These, as far as I know, are original except for some paint, but I do put plexiglass on the outside of them to keep the weathering down on the windows. But they leak like a sieve too.
Oh,
so This is a cold house.
Any favorite memories of yours growing up as a child out in this area, like, or even as an adult? Any favorite memories that you're like, man, this was like the best memory ever?
When I was little, the stairs has a banister on it, and we were little, we'd climb up on top of it and slide down. Well, it was a whole 10 feet?
Yeah.
That was a big thing to do that. And then the upstairs porches, we'd play on those and just mess around here, help my grandparents feed chickens, things like that. And then when Donnie was asking about some of the history, well, an interesting one is written down by one of the ladies that grew up here. She said that the boys weren't swimming in the Yay Wall, which is about a good country mile from here, which would be a little further. And the Indians stole their clothes, so they had to come back at night and climb up the stair, or climb up on the outside and get their clothes so nobody would see them. But I can remember as a kid swimming in the Yay Wall, and then even closer where the campgrounds are here, there's Copper Falls, what we call Copper's Creek. And whenever it's raining, it's got some holes in it that are big enough to swim in. And we would swim as kids. And this is an interesting house because it's roughly 12 miles from Lexington, 12 miles from Caldwell, 6 or 7 miles from Deanville, maybe 15 or 20 miles from Rockdale. And it's here in the middle of nowhere. And but it was a big community. The road in front of the house that you can't see on the camera went to the church and the cemetery. And a lot of my, let's see, one set of great-grandparents, a set of great-great-grandparents, and great-great-great-grandparents are buried here in this
Wow.
cemetery that I just found out about 35 years ago that were there. So it's and there's a big cemetery there. I don't know how many's there, but I'd say maybe over 100, 150 graves possibly. And a lot of people out here. I do have a picture that shows my grandmother and some of her sisters at the school in 1908. And I'm guessing, I didn't count, but there's maybe 50, 60 kids there.
In that picture, it looked like there was quite a few, more than you'd think. Like, I don't know why, but my mind tends to gravitate to, when I think about the older times like that in sparse communities, I think maybe 10, 15 kids in a school. But that picture, like, clearly there was way more than that. And so it just shows how close knit this community is. And would you say that the community as a whole right now, are you close with your neighbors? Do you know everybody? Do you feel like it's the same, or do you think that's changed over time?
Well, I mean, I know all the neighbors. I've got the closest neighbor is just down the road where you came, maybe half a mile from here. And but back then, the neighbors were actually a lot closer. This place being huge and the landowners being big, they had a lot of land. The original owner of this not this house, but this property was pre-war, pre-Civil War. So he had slaves. And then the man that built this house even had slaves, because emancipation didn't happen until 67 in Texas. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of people out here, and they knew everybody. They would spend time, and the stories are that on Sundays you weren't home. You would just, if there was a church, you'd go to church service, and then you just get on your wagon and your horses and go visit somebody. But yeah, this was it took a lot of years. I think it took me and my wife and help from my kids and everything about a good 40 years to get this turned around.
Get it to where,
yeah, because we didn't have any money. We moved up there.
In managing a place, as you said, it was like 600 acres total with the family, or somewhere around there. That's a lot of work.
It is. My grandfather, of course, when he bought this place on the courthouse steps, they were settling a family suit, I guess would be the right way. And that's where my grandfather bought 200 acres in this house.
It's pretty interesting. And, a lot of times I have such mixed feelings personally about social media, because I'm kind of a Gen Xer. I was born in 75. So I grew up at a time where that wasn't very prominent. The most arcade stuff that we had was an Atari, and 20, 30 minutes of that, you're done. I spent most of my time outside. So as technology has come along, you see kids less and less outside. But the one benefit is, with all the social media and the HipCamp app, which is how I booked the campsite out here, it is a benefit, and it is a benefit to the landowners as well, because there's some income that you can get from that. It's like an Airbnb for I guess for campers, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really cool thing, but I think that we got to be careful as people that, pay to enjoy that. We have to make sure that we're respecting that land out there too, because I think that the reason Texas doesn't have so much public land, I think 98% of Texas is privately owned. And there's not a lot of public land out there, but the misuse of public land gets it shut down. We just got to be careful and responsible out there, everybody. So we want to keep what's available to us to stay available to us.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, I can understand when I grew up in the city or a town, Baytown. I grew up in Baytown. I wouldn't call it a city, but it was a pretty good sized town. And it was nice to come out and get away, even though we had a place that was in the town next to us with a few cows and acreage. That's where we messed around mostly. But it's nice when you have a lot of land and you can spread out a little bit and go and look and see. And
it's just one of those things. That's why I love doing camping out places like this, because if you go to a state park or you go somewhere like that, you got people literally right next to you, and I want to feel like I'm isolated. Maybe I'm not, but I want to feel like I am. So that's a great thing. Yeah.
Let me make a pitch here.
Yeah, make a pitch. Let's do it.
Robert U. Porter came to Burleson County in, don't hold me to these numbers, but in 1833, I think. He was around 5. He came here with John W. Porter, his dad and his mother, and maybe a brother and some kids. Well, Robert ended up with this place after his dad died in the 1840s and built this house. And his first wife had 9 kids. His second wife had 6. I think I'm right, or 7. But if any of you know anybody that are Porter ancestors, somewhere in this world is some information about this house in somebody's attic or in a Bible or something. Because I still have people occasionally get a hold to me and they're Porter, whatever, removed. And some from Oklahoma come through every once in a while and just stop and visit because her grandfather was the last boy born here.
Okay.
And so if you know anybody that's a Porter or you're a Porter, if you heard a Porter, I'd love to know some more specifics about this house.
Yeah, just send me I think my email is in the YouTube description. You guys can send that to me. If you have that information, I'll make sure to get it to him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have some links at the end of the video, or not links. I'm going to have some photos at the end of the video of the house and everything, so you can kind of check it out. And if anything looks familiar or you have some documentation, send it up.
And one of the small things for people as old as me is Janis Joplin's sister came here one time.
Oh,
back
how about that?
When I was gone, me and my wife were gone, talked to my mother, and then sent a letter. She was wanting information about the family because they're Porters. They're either a grandfather or a grandmother or something like that was born here. So she was hoping that we had information about the family, which we didn't. But I have a lot of information about the Porters. But when all those kids took off, they went in every direction that in the world. None of them stayed here. And so if you know Janis Joplin's great-grandparents, you know somebody that was raised here.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this segment here. So, Mr. Nathan, I appreciate your time so much.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Wow, what a full afternoon. Got to do some fishing late this morning. Got to learn some history about this community and about this camp spot, Jody's Hideaway. But tonight is the icing on the cake for me for 2 reasons. I love foil pack dinners, and that's what we're going to have tonight. And I'll show you guys when I make them what it is, but I'm super excited. I'm hungry. I didn't really eat lunch, and breakfast was only a Pop-Tart. So this is going to be great tonight. I'm so excited. And the second thing is LSU plays tonight. It's the bowl game, LSU versus University of Houston. So that comes on later on this evening, and I get to watch that. And there's no better place to watch a game than out at camp. So I think we're just going to enjoy these camp vibes, maybe watch the sun go down. We'll connect back with y'all when it's time for food and the game. The fire is slowly starting to get to where we need it, so let's go ahead and build those foil packs. Oh man, it is finally time to dig in, and I am so hungry. I can't wait, and I hope it's done. Oh yeah. So we've got chicken with some Kinder seasoning. It looks really good. We're gonna
put some cheese on there to let it melt in there real good. You know, don't be skimpy on the cheese. Use a lot of cheese. Oh, yeah. Good amount of cheese there. And I have some Kinder's Honey Hot barbecue sauce. And that is going to give this a really good flavor. Oh, man. Oh, guys. I'm so anxious to dig in here. Let's start with a piece of chicken. We can make sure it's done. Mm. Mm. Man, that was so good. Nothing better than a good full pack dinner at camp. It's something fun that you can make with your kids. I mean, shoot, I had a lot of fun just making it for myself. Got potatoes, onions, chicken, cheese, and barbecue sauce. You cannot go wrong, my friends. It's almost time for the LSU kickoff. I'm going to sit here by this fire, enjoy this game, and I'll see you guys in the morning for coffee unless something crazy happens. Well, good morning from camp. If you guys made it this far, you know the drill. You know what I want you to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. But seriously, thank you guys so much for tagging along with me on this one. It means a lot to me. And thank you to the members. Without you guys, I couldn't do stuff like this. And I feel very, very lucky to be out here and enjoy these kind of camping experiences. A little bit disappointed in the weather. This weekend was like so weird. It was like got up into the 80s. Not super cool at night, only in like the 60s, which it's okay, but I prefer to sleep when it's a little bit colder. But no matter what, coffee's always the right temperature. I guess we're just gonna kind of enjoy the morning coffee, then pack up camp and head it on to the house. I'm gonna leave a few pictures that I took that I just thought were kind of cool. So I'll leave those as the video's closing out. But hey, until next time, I'll see you guys down the trail or around the campfire. Happy New Year.